Welcome to the Ambitious Coach Podcast. This is a place where driven, determined coaches learn how to get off the business growth struggle bus and learn how to build a wildly profitable online coaching business. I'm your host, Allison Henderson, corporate dropout to six-figure social media business coach. I'm going to show you how I've been able to create the business of my dreams organically, all through utilizing my social media platforms. So pull up a seat, take some notes, and get ready to see your life and bank account transform. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. I had such a great week last week. So I'm going to share with you a little bit about what we did and what happened. My husband, Sam, and I, we went on a little getaway to a small town in southern Indiana called French Lick. I've been there a few times before. It's a little hidden gem, I would say, of Indiana. And if you live in the States, you might know that Indiana is known for it being like pretty flat and full of corn. It is like a different world down in southern Indiana. And if you guys don't know, I actually live towards Chicago. I'm like about an hour south of Chicago, and like we call it Northwest Indiana. And French Lick is like very like almost to Kentucky area. So it's pretty far down there. It's about a 4-hour drive from where I live. And we were going down there because my husband loves golf and we were going to a golf tournament. And if you haven't heard me talk about my husband before, you probably know he's pretty obsessed with golf and he watches a bunch of YouTube golfers, actually. So we went to this tournament they were having, and I was really impressed with the power of social media, the power of YouTube, and bringing hundreds of people together. And they were all just a bunch of dudes that were wanting to watch other dudes play golf. And these aren't pro golfers, by the way. These are, once again, YouTubers, okay? Yes, they're very, very good, but they weren't on like the PGA Tour or anything like that. But they packed this venue. So once again, the power of social media, I'm just like, wow. There was one woman golfer, which I was really impressed with her because she had over 4 million followers on Instagram. And all of these people were like celebrities to the people that were attending, which is so funny to me. And I even know with my kids, they watch a bunch of YouTube videos. And I know if they saw them in person, it would be like, oh my God, it would be like celebrity status, you know? And I obviously knew a bunch of these people that we saw that were these golfers just because I watched these videos with my husband. But it's crazy to see how these social media content creators had that much influence. And I guess that's why we call them social media influencers, you know, at the end of the day, that's what they are. But anyway, we had such a great time. I was able to really relax and just enjoyed some alone time with my husband. And then when we got back the next day, we actually went to a concert with a group of friends. My elder emo heart was so happy. We saw The Used and Story of the Year. So if you're not familiar with those bands, they're like super emo. And we grew up listening to emo music. My husband was in a band since he was a kid. So he did play that type of music. I don't know if I ever told you guys this. My husband was actually in I would say kind of popular-ish band. Like they were signed and he was on tour for like many years. He did play with The Used actually on like a Warped Tour many years ago. So anyway, we just grew up with that type of music. So I was just like, oh my God, this is like the best week of my life. So I had a great week. And then now this week, I'm getting back into work mode. I've been spending a lot more time in my office, just buckling down. I'm planning out my next few months. When I think now it's like we're hitting July. Like, oh my God, we're hitting July. So the next few months of the year, I just have to go, okay, what's my plan, right? So I do this. Honestly, I do this quarterly to sit there and go, okay, what are my next 3 months? What am I looking like? What am I going to be selling? And, really, what am I looking forward to, right? So if you still aren't there yet and you're like, okay, we're, 6 months into the year, just know that things can change so quickly for you and for your business. Okay. So if you still aren't where you want to be at, and you know that like right now we're like 6 months into the year, just know that things can change so quickly for you and for your business. Stay focused on your goal. Schedule in every single day working hours. Okay. Keep posting, stay consistent, and don't forget to actually sell and connect with real people. And once again, your life can change so fast. Honestly, your business can change so quickly. Okay. Decide to take action every day and stick to your plan. And if you are looking for help, DM me, okay? I have a few openings for one-on-one starting in July, okay? And we can chat about some options for you. All right, well, let's get started on this week's episode, how to grow your audience full of hot leads. All right, so one of the biggest misconceptions with social media marketing is that you can just post and get a bunch of followers. And don't get me wrong, that can happen, all right? I'm not going to say that that doesn't happen to me, where I post a reel and bam, I get a few new followers, right? I just don't find that strategy to be the best strategy on getting new followers because it's really just using the posting and praying method. And I just don't like that. I want to have control. I want you to have more control over who follows you and actually knowing that these people are following me or following you. And those are real people, like actual people. And we want those people, like real people, to be turning into leads, right? So reels are great for showcasing your new videos to an audience who don't actually know who you are. They are pushed out to a cold audience for you. And of course, we hope that they start following you and inquiring about your services. Duh, right? Like, duh. It does happen where you get new followers and you have that potential to go viral and get a ton of new followers, but we can't bank on that or wait for that to happen to us. And that honestly is you creating a lot more content, if I'm being honest. Okay. So my go-to method for getting new followers and getting them fast is you simply following people you would consider ideal clients. So it's so simple and it's so easy. And you likely know who your ideal client is or some sort of version of that ideal client. Okay. Do some research. Who is your ideal client already following on social media? Where is she hanging out and consuming her content? Who is her favorite influencers or content creators or other coaches? Go to those people's profiles and see who's actually liking and commenting on their posts. Does it look like people that you would consider ideal clients? All right. So you're making fast and quick judgments here. Okay. Now, for example, if you are a pediatric sleep consultant, because I know a majority of the people that listen to this podcast are some sort of mom type of coaches. Okay. You know, there are so many other types of business owners trying to market to moms who have small children or babies, right? You know, like lactation consultants, doulas, midwives, postpartum doulas, chiropractors, yoga instructors, pelvic floor therapists. I mean, guys, there's so many people that are trying to market to moms. Okay. So I can go on and on, but do your research. And it's pretty easy to find your leads once you know where they're hanging out. It is your responsibility as a coach and as the business owner to get in front of these people often and be immersed in their communities. All right. But it is your responsibility to know where they're hanging out. Okay. So do some research today, get on social media and actually start visiting and looking at other people's profiles. Okay. You want everybody knowing your name and recommending the hell out of you every time someone brings up, like, I need help with this and I need help with that, right? You want your name getting tagged in every single one of those posts, right? You feel me? And by the way, Facebook groups aren't dead, but there is a way to use them to get more followers on Instagram. So you can redirect them to follow you and consume more of your content. And in those Facebook groups, especially the ones that aren't yours, right? It may be hard to post and like sell in those groups. Like a lot of people have like the no promotion rule or whatever. So find ways to share your Instagram links in those posts and your profile in those comment sections. Okay. Every Facebook group has their own rules and regulations. So sometimes it is hard to just straight up say, follow me or buy this or buy that. Okay, I get that. Be a resource though, give value, and don't be afraid to really connect with people and see if they need more help or more clarity on something. And guys, like, what if you just DM'd the admin and said, I'd love to give a presentation in this group, or I'd love to be a resource for you. All right. Get out of your comfort zone a bit and just see if that would be something they would be okay with. And another way to get more followers full of hot leads is actually giving a presentation in front of real people who signed up to learn from you. So this is where you can utilize that Facebook group or once again, that admin and see if that would be something that they would be okay with for you to like even promote like a webinar that you're doing or something like that. Okay. Utilizing someone else's communities full of your ideal clients is one of my favorite strategies to getting real leads that actually need and want your help. Okay. And you don't need a huge audience to make the money that you want to make. Okay. I've had clients blow up because of one presentation they did, and they gained dozens of followers overnight and even booked discovery calls while they were hosting the presentation. Okay. You will have to create opportunities for yourself. I hate to say it, but you will need to actually expand your comfort zone every day and do things you've never done before to create clients that you want for yourself. They don't just magically start coming once you announce it, like, hello, I got my certification. I'm ready. I have a business. I want you being a resource, provide value, really show up and be a leader in your space. Be patient with yourself though. Okay. Know that the actions that you're taking today are going to be setting you up for the next few months, for your future self. Okay. I truly want you having though, like an audience that's just full of raving fans that can't wait to see what you're selling and can't wait to see your posts every single week. It will take you showing up, sharing who you are, sharing your life, and how you can help your followers, right? How you can really help them change their life. And this is the thing I know to be true is you are so capable of building this business that you really want, but you need an audience. You need people that actually know who you are, right? If no one knows you exist, they can't buy from you, right? You hear that often, right? So take some time every single day, maybe just set a little timer on your phone for 15 minutes and sit there and grow your audience, right? You need to sell, you need to connect, and bam, your whole life is going to change. And it can change so fast once you start taking these little action steps every single day. And if you're feeling like I need some more in-depth strategy to really grow my audience, connect with my followers, and really just like learning how to show up confidently on social media, this is exactly what I help my clients with inside one-on-one coaching. So DM me on Instagram to learn more about my one-on-one opportunities. And my Instagram is AllisonHenderson_coach. That's AllisonHenderson_coach. Okay, everyone, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you again next week. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Ambitious Coach podcast today. A couple favors before you go. If you found this episode helpful, please take a screenshot and share it on Instagram. Most importantly, don't forget to tag me at AllisonHenderson_coach. That's ALLISON Henderson_coach. And lastly, please take a minute to rate this episode and leave a raving review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you tune in to listen. Okay, ambition is great, but it's time to get to work. Take action and commit to being 1% better every day. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you again next week.